Good afternoon, good evening. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Diversity
And equity.
in Education. I am April with, I was going to say teacher for the culture. I am April with April's Beauty Bar.
I'm Denise with Carved Out Divas. And together
And
we
we're
are.
being and we are being hosted by Teacher for the Culture with Bianca Gooseby. Good evening, everyone. As you all can see, my brain already razzled and fried. This week has been the longest week of my life.
Yes,
Of my life. For
absolutely.
2020 anyway.
Yeah. I feel like we've been in 2020 for 4 years. That's how long we've been we've been in 2024. Because this is interesting.
I
This is
totally,
interesting.
totally agree. You know, I got to get my yells in at them boys in the back.
I was wondering, okay, go ahead.
Yes, so out of order, but I want to express the importance of the polls that are opening tomorrow. The voting polls are opening, people. They're opening, and you need to be ready so that you do not have any type of excuse to surmount the reasoning behind you not executing your right to vote if you have that right to do so. We need you all to go vote out, go vote early. If you have your ballots, you can actually take your ballots and drop off at the voting polls.
Hmm.
Like, there should be no excuses. Don't wait until the lines become an issue. Go out and vote now. At this point, there have been millions of people that have already exercised their vote by voting early. So we suggest, we encourage, we almost want to make demands go vote, excuse me, early. So please, ma'am, sirs, and all our young adults, 18 and older, please go out and vote. And a message to the candidates: please, if you want to be invited to different events, panels, forums, whatever it may be, the information that's on the supervisor of elections office is where your information that we're supposed to reference when we're contacting individuals that are candidates to participate in these events. So it's so important that your email address is there, your contact information there, your web address, whatever it is that's supposed to be the legal point of reference for individuals to reach out to you. Make sure it's there, updated, and you check it. And I'm going to leave that conversation alone. Go ahead, Denise.
Okay. Well, I absolutely agree with what you're saying. I concur because, if these are elected officials, these are people that we want to represent us. You should make yourself highly available to the general public. But speaking of which, I mean, I cannot stress enough what April is saying about voting. If you receive this piece of mail right here in your mail, this tells you all the drop off. I look, honestly, don't suggest dropping anything off. I suggest you going directly there. But I will tell you that in East Tampa, for early voting right now, the C. Blythe Andrews Jr. Public Library. It's at 2607 East Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard. That one is open tomorrow. Okay, so early voting begins tomorrow. That's one right here in the East Tampa area. If you are in the, let's see, if you're near USF, you can go to USF Tico Hall at 4110 USF Apple Drive. West Tampa Branch Library is also open. That's at 2312 West Union Street. Please go. Please go. And if you already have your ballot in hand, walk it in there and drop it off. This is crucial right now. There, at last count, is 22 million people have voted. 22 million. And I know it's higher because that was Saturday's number. And but people like my sister in Texas, she said she got up there and it took about 2 hours, she believed. But a lot of them, there was one people were in line from 4 a.m. So if the fact that 22 million people have voted already, what does that tell you is going on in this country? What does that tell you? Okay. And on top of that, of all of the rumblings we heard about poll watching and going to the poll and protecting my rights, and there are some open carry states that want to walk down there with their guns to the poll. That should let you know to go vote early. Go vote early, because there's some people out there getting a little crazy. So go vote early while you can, because they wait until election day. day to go down there and act crazy. Don't let it get you. My prayer is that by the time November 3rd come, everybody who needed to vote already don't vote. So when they get to the polls looking for people, everybody home because we already did it. There are buses rolling to the polls. Please look. All you gotta do is scroll down, scroll through Facebook. I must have seen about 6, 7 buses. People advertising buses going packing the people to go out to vote. If that's one thing we want to pack a bus. Let's go do this. Because for people of color, especially people of color, this is one of the most crucial elections that we ever have. And you can read between the lines because y'all know what that is. If you black, let's just say that, especially, and you've seen what's going on, what's happening to us in the country, police brutality, lack of education, all these things. You're getting ready to put a judge in the Supreme Court that's getting ready to revoke so many laws that were applicable to you, that helpful to you. So please act like you have some sense, please. Please. That's all I can tell you. Please, let's go get this done. Anything else you want to say about that? You good?
No,
I will
I've
bring
said
up
my
this
piece.
next point. Let's talk about the most relevant things then. People, are we gonna say this for the ones in the back? First quarter ends on Friday. Let me
This
say it one more
Friday.
time. First quarter ends this Friday, the 23rd of October. Move back. So what does that mean to you? What? The quarter end already? There's some of your children that never even logged in. There's some of your
Please don't
children
call
that no
teachers.
for the
Please
don't.
don't start calling teachers, guidance counselors, admins. If they haven't done anything at this point, it's too late. It's too late. Stop playing the game. It's too late. They could try again next 9 weeks. Go on and
Yeah.
ride it out.
One child sent me a message asking me to unlock all the assignments back to from August.
Legs.
What you was doing all this time?
Pulling up their legs.
Yeah, there you go. Take flight.
Take flight.
Please take flight.
You're gonna take flight with that F right now. There's
Because
there's no there's no way you can land with a D. Just
you
keep
want me
flying.
to you want me to unlock every assignment that's been since August? Anyhow, parents, we gotta do better. Because I know a lot of y'all waiting for for the schoolhouse to open up. Because y'all superintendent that told everybody, oh, by the way, send everybody back to school. And we got rid of all these people. And yeah, we're gonna have to start taking in more students. But
Well, let's talk about that because it seems that there's some misunderstanding of cuts
yeah,
and pool.
right.
There seems to be some misunderstanding that people don't understand that there's one thing to be shifted to another to the pool, but there's a whole different conversation when it was referencing the cuts for individuals that were hired after August 14th. So talk about that a few minutes
Mm-hmm.
because I'm just gonna go to Holland. So you go ahead.
Okay, yeah, don't holler, don't holler, don't holler. Okay. What we've been talking about for months, what Bianca has been talking about. Well, there's a pool of us that's been talking about this for months to years. Let's just call it like that, okay? And we know the district has been bleeding money. The district has misappropriated funds. She showed you the actual sheet. One thing we do is data. Sheets and sheets and sheets of data. People getting their eyelashes and nails and all kind of things done. Sheets of data. When you got to ask the Fed, I don't know who it was, but the bottom line is there was $75 million in debt. You need $75 million to cover payroll. The district ain't got no money. None. So how do you get money quickly? No, we're not going to think about firing people from the top or perhaps taking them $300,000, $400,000 salaries and cut them down by a couple $100,000. And actually with taking $100,000 away across the board, you can actually pay a couple other people that only making 30 and 40 and 50,000. How about shaving out some of their salary? But no, 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 no. Right. We're going to just go ahead. Everybody that we hired after August 14th of 2020, this year, okay? Everybody that we hired, we are now going to fire them because that's going to make up at least a $45 million deficit. We're still about 30 million plus in the hole, but that's at least $45 million we get right there. So please understand, they're not having a bake sale to get this money. They not, you know, okay. We'll go out there just like the Girl Scouts and everybody else. We can go out and sell no cookies and we'll get this money back. Okay. They had to do something drastic to get this money back. And the drastic thing was to fire people. Just like how, okay, and you should always pay attention to what happened in the wind before. Just like how they were trying to outsource the custodial staff. Okay. All of these little things you keep hearing people doing. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. That's all about money. It's all about the money because money was not spent correctly. But what's amazing to me is everybody who has been spending the money poorly is still employed. Legs.
Right. Like, and there's no question about them going anywhere. Nowhere. Foundation, concrete, anchored in their roles. Not concerned about pensions, where the next meal coming from. Children in college, car payment, house payment due. What they say, I got 199 problems, but my job ain't one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How I talked about it earlier. I said, how is it that you can morally sit there and believe that this is a right decision to make? You just, like I
said,
got
thousands of people scrambling, trying to losing sleep, yes, having to take depressant medication, having to seek counseling, medicines for hypertension, blood, I mean, you name it. But hey, we must be thankful for a job.
Right. I mean, but the thing is, you're not even thinking about the people that left wherever state they came from to come here to work. There's people, I mean, just having personal conversation with people. I left everything behind to move to this state. And I just got hired. One person was coming in off the airplane with their suitcase and everything to the interview. Got hired, now you gone. I wouldn't even, you know, I can't. I just can't. Well, one thing you got to give CTA a shout out for after all of 13,000 years of paying dues. Well, the one thing they did do was help save some people jobs. Not everybody, but they
the
did
key
good
word is that some is bothersome
to a point.
Because if you have fell in the category of the not so fortunate, so I'm not giving them a shout out. Sorry, nope.
Well, I
know, because if you were on the other side of that, what would you be saying?
That's true.
If you were on the other side,
I would be. So basically, yeah. I'm gonna retract that one for right now because honestly,
because
okay,
we could have very well been on the other side of that.
Yeah, no, I'll take that one back.
Because for those that are
because
that happen,
did they even have time to even sign up?
You had some teachers that were that are part of the arts performance. I guess I'm just going to reference it as the performing arts because I don't know what the correct category is outside of elective. Some that's been in this for 20 plus years that are being impacted by this. Like some of them that are in the drop program, like the scenarios are different, but the bottom line is these people have given sweat, blood, and tears, and have stuck by this district because they had a passion to teach kids, and then it's just gone.
You're right.
Just gone. Their sense of normalcy is gone. But remember, let's not forget about all those children.
Oh yeah.
That it was so important for us to get back to work because that's a safe place for them, and they needed to be able to have access to the food program. But guidance counselors fell into that same um, tree of being able to be
Same
pruned
category.
from the district. So at our high need
Right.
schools that have students that come with baggage that adults could not carry around daily, the social services that are being, jobs are the ones that's being plucked away. And we didn't know that we had a school
Mm-hmm.
that was called a trauma informed school. We learned about that over the weekend.
Yes.
We never
This
knew that.
weekend.
And there was only
Mm-hmm.
one in
Mm-hmm.
Hillsborough County. And that one school is not capable of fulfilling that project, I'll refer to it as, because the individual that was trained in that area is not there. They were forced to take a leave of
Right.
absence in a high need school. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times when we say high need school, we want you all to be very clear that most high need schools, the reason why they're high needs is because of Black and brown children. We want you to be clear on
Yes,
that. But we
predominantly.
represent the minority. We represent the minority. What are people in the back
Mm-hmm.
at now? Where are their voices?
Right.
Why are they not screaming and advocating what's best for children? Oh, because it does not impact their children. Oh, I forgot about that. I
Correct.
forgot. I forgot.
Correct. That
It doesn't benefit them in
you
any way.
you need to be honest about it. Mm-hmm. Be honest about it. Because if listen, I always go back to the Hillsborough County, their motto, which is preparing students for life. I always go back to it because every time they do stuff like this, that's the hypocrisy behind that stuff. You preparing students for life for real? You got rid of the counselors. You preparing students for life for real? You know, you just downsize all the schools, but you preparing students for life. Now you're getting ready to pack the classes full of children. You preparing students for life, but wait a minute, you don't clean the classrooms that have COVID, and everybody knows it, but y'all don't. Let me be quiet. Legs.
Take flight.
Whew. Some of y'all principals at AP's been missing for a couple of days, but everybody want to say that they got COVID. I'm gonna move on.
Or when
But y'all
COVID
preparing students for
comes
life.
about on the campus, that is such a secret to where
That
the
shh.
staff has to pay where's Waldo, as if
Right,
where's COVID, in order to be able to not find
right.
out the who, but to find out what was I impacted by it in a timely fashion in order to make sure, number one, I don't continue the possibility of exposure, and number two, to quickly get tested. We have to
Mm-hmm.
find out, we have to play the
Mm-hmm.
where's Waldo or where's Carmen
Right.
San Diego.
What was the show? Where in the world is Carmen San Diego? Exactly.
And
Because where in the world is this kid?
we're hearing horror stories about the COVID commanders at various sites that they
Yes.
make the individuals feel as though it's trivial when they're interviewing them to say, okay, this child was in your class according to the seating chart. How long was Susie and Johnny and Lizzie close to Mary? Was it 15 minutes or longer? Were they, was it full conversation during that time frame? Like it's trivial. So like when we're teaching, now we got to take
Mm-hmm.
toll on how long the conversations was. Were they talking directly to, the individuals, that the person that was exposed or had COVID? I mean, I'm confused. And then the teacher is asked, or were you directly in contact with the child for 15 minutes? Did you have a conversation with them in the same setting? I'm like, aren't we in the same classroom, in the same ventilation, with the
Right.
same possibility of
Right.
exposure? Because there's not one child in the room, there's 20 or more in the room on average. And that means that the airspace, even with the mask on, is receiving a certain level of contamination. Like, help me understand the logistics behind this. I'm no scientist, but I'm also no fool.
But right. And look, and I've actually watched the child because children don't have the pandemic etiquette locked down yet. I actually watched the child
Good one.
take their entire mask off to sneeze, then put it back on. I said, the drop, you have projectile sneezed all through, and then a lab, which means now you're talking about computer keyboards, mouse. Think of all the things that them spray droplets got on, and you just spray sneezing straight across the classroom, and then all the other ones just laughing, and then there's no consistency because one teacher said, "Oh, they said we don't have to wear them all the time." The other one said, "You don't come in here without this mask on," and then another one. Listen, I think every last one of us got it. We probably
Well, half the
asymptomatic right
teachers
now, but when
wear
it
them
hit
on
hard,
their nose. Then we want
right
the
here,
kids to
right
wear them
here,
over their nose.
it says to wear them.
I tell
No.
them quick, no mustache
The way
mask.
it's going, I think every last one of us probably got it. Hmm?
Yes, I already told you
I really
that.
believe we do.
I already
We
told you
already
that.
got it. As much children. Have you been attack hugged by a child from behind? I got attack hug one time. I was like, "Oh my God, what you doing? What you doing?" That child, I'm done. That
Mine
child done got me.
are
They got me
when
already.
they come from e-learning and they see you and they just like before they coming in. Who are you? And I'm just saying, who are you, child?
Yes.
Why are you
Yes.
touching me? It's COVID. Mask
Don't
off.
touch. Don't touch
It's
me. Don't touch
me,
me. Don't
such and
touch me. Don't
such.
touch me. Bam.
Honey,
It's
it's nice
me.
to see
Yeah.
you. It's nice to see you made it out of e-learning. You made it out.
They,
You made it out of
they did
e-learning.
it. They
They
did
so
it to
happy
me
to be
twice
out.
too. They just like, "Do you just see my face? I'm right
Yeah,
here.
it's me. I'm like, hey.
Look."
I will say that I do get when I go in the cafeteria, and I know I put myself in situations, but it is what it is. At this one, like I said, I think I already have been exposed to a certain
We just
degree.
yeah.
I go in the
Mm.
cafeteria and when they're eating to see all of their masks off because I don't know what they look like. So I'll be like,
Right.
oh, you such and such. Oh, you such and such. It's amazing how from the way that the eyes really don't show the true character of a full face.
Yes.
So when they show me their face, I'm like, oh my
Yes.
God, you're so gorgeous. You're
Hmm.
so handsome. I have to remind myself some people don't do right them
Yes.
words adults. So I'll be like, sweetie, I'm just feeling like you're cute
Right.
girl.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
you're
Child.
cute.
Child.
Oh, hey, God, be quiet.
Hmm.
But I am excited
But
to
I'm
a
just.
place to
But you're
where we
right.
don't have to wear them anymore.
Oh gosh, that's gonna be wonderful. But I mean, for right now, like I said, the kids. I mean, this is of course it's totally unnatural for them. So they really just don't understand. Sometimes they want to take it completely out. They have it hanging off to the side. Remember during the summer we said this is all the ways the kids gonna wear the mask, and I guarantee you, to this we've seen every way they wear it: under the chin, over the eyes, hanging from the ear, down here, all across. I mean, look, they'll a variety of ways. So, and then of course now you have the ones who always want to match their mask to their outfit they have. Why gotta be in uniform? Because my mask have to match my outfit. So I'm a Raiders fan,
Or
so I
when you
understand
see
what's going on.
them,
But
the
anyway,
friend,
so
the
it's just
girlfriend have on the
it's
mask
amazing.
from
What you
earlier.
gonna say?
The girlfriend have on the mask, they didn't switch masks for the day. Okay.
Switch mask. Oh my gosh,
They do it all day.
y'all.
Because they
Listen,
mask
if you
match, so that
you don't
everybody
think
know that
your
they
children
dating and
switching
all that
masks with
stuff.
other children,
They do.
that's what I said. I'm convinced that we all of us already got it at some point. It's just whether or not we asymptomatic or not. So far, every morning when I get checked, I've gone between 95 and 98. I ain't hit 100 yet. I ain't
Listen
hit
at
100 yet.
this.
So
Listen
yeah,
at this.
that was my temperature range, 95 to 98. I've been doing good.
COVID commanders.
What you got?
COVID commanders that read documents. And the document says that a child, family member, or someone tested positive for the antibodies. However, all they saw was test and positive.
Positive. Mm-hmm.
So, what is the remnants of that? false alarm sent home, kids being quarantined when the document clearly positive for the antibodies. 40
That's
kids
why reading
and
is
some
fundamental.
teachers later. 40 kids and some teachers later. It's happening. Found it.
Meanwhile, we have some teachers that can't wait to be home. Let me say, we got some that ran home so fast. It's like, player, what you doing home? Just self quarantining. But don't know if they come in contact with nobody. You just want to be home. What?
40 kids later and some teachers.
Whew, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But look, I am ready. I'm already convinced that once we start packing up, people understand we haven't hit flu season yet. And we're about to get in deep into once these temperatures start changing, or actually the pollen start bursting, when all that stuff come together, because you ain't gonna be able to tell if it's allergies, the flu, or COVID. You're not gonna know. But this is getting ready to happen. And one thing I've learned from being around people who know, educated people, who can also reading, that's a big thing, that viruses like the cold. And viruses like when you gather together. That's what they like. And they will incubate when it's colder. So here we are now, we're getting ready to head into winter. Thank God Florida, our winter season is January and February. But we do have times, them 3 days a month when we get cold. And everybody want to be inside. And now the virus is inside, everybody huddled together, and boom. All we can tell you is hand sanitize and wash your face, wash your hands. Please be careful. That's all we can keep telling you. We can't stress to you enough. Be careful. Have your children be careful. Please be careful.
Very much
That's
so.
it.
Very much so.
Exactly. So we're gonna talk about we call our launch. We got a launch coming up for the Sunshine Education Coalition. Our launch is going to be this Thursday, October 22nd, from 7 p.m. to 8:50. We would love to have all of you join us. We want to talk about the school to prison pipeline and how it traumatically affects our brown and black boys, our children of color, and the moves that we see and don't see being done to make a change for this to happen. And we really want you to hear your voices. We want to know how, if and how it has affected you. What do you feel we should be doing as a district? What you yourself, and what experiences that you yourself have had. We're going to have some poll questions for you to, we just want you to share your experiences, because, we won't get any better as a people if, first of all, if we're not transparent. That's the first thing we have to be, is transparent. Then the second thing we need to do is really work towards the cause. A lot of us don't have it. We see the cause, we'll look at the cause, we'll wave at it and say it don't affect me, and then keep moving. Go ahead.
I totally agree. Until we start having those uncomfortable conversations, there's going to be no possibility for us to grow in the knowledge of how to address the issue. So, with that being said, we welcome, invite, encourage those that can spare an hour and 15 minutes out of their time to become more educated on the school to prison pipeline, because the word, or the combination of words itself, clearly explains what it is, but it doesn't explain how it happens. And we're going to
Mm-hmm.
explain the how along with the why, and then possible solutions as to what we would like to see done indifferently here in our district. And we know our district is addressing it to a certain degree, and we don't know all the ins and outs because it's not done transparently for us to know. And as a
Mm-hmm.
parent and as a community, we want to know, because our Black boys are being funneled into the school to prison pipeline in groves. And that's happening nationwide when it comes to the minority male, Black and Hispanic. It's just happening. And the question becomes why, when they represent the minority in most cases. So we
Mm-hmm.
welcome you. The invitation will be put out there for you all to participate. And again, we cannot continue to talk about something and know that it's happening and not seek out some type of solutions and have conversations about, what's going on. Because again, it may not impact your child now, it may not impact your child for at all, but at some point, it's going to impact someone in your family if they're male. It's going to impact them.
Mhm. Yes. Things to take into consideration also, we cannot, when you look at a lot of other racial groups, they will bring the next person with them. They'll pull the next person up. They cluster. You ever go to New York City and you see entire neighborhoods that's all one race of people? They Chinatown. You go over to and you see the Hasidic Jews. They all in one area. But but they build together and they lift up their community. Our issue is we have that crab in a barrel mentality. And once one of us has made it, we don't care about you behind us. We're gonna just keep on going. And then
Come
when
on.
we see you and we're like, okay, well, you know what? That was good. I made it, and I don't need to worry about you. So a lot of times, that's what our problem is. Like when we have a lot of these programs, and we see all these organizations, things again. I'm not knocking the organization. I just need you to understand. You're okay. I understand a lot of the. Okay, I'm going to promote this child because this child comes from a two-parent household. This child already is ahead of the game. This child has been reading since she was 2, and this child is going to go straight to college. Okay, that's nice that we're going to lift up that child. But here's this other child who was just born out of wedlock. Okay, cool. This child got 6 other brothers and sisters. Okay, cool. This child comes from a single parent household, but this child still got the same amount of potential. Don't knock people like that. Barack Obama was came from a single parent household, president of the United States. I need you to understand that you cannot look at one child and say these are the kids I'm going to help because they're in a social, and economic bracket that's okay, acceptable to the general public. And then you have another set of kids who don't look like those kids, don't smell like those kids, don't talk like those kids, don't act like those kids. But there's potential there. There is potential, and you can and what it is, those kids are the ones that surprise you in the end when they end up having their own businesses. They have their own little detail business. They have their own lawn services. They have their own nail shop. One little girl make $100,000 selling bundles of hair. Sis, help me. That's the kind of money you bringing in from selling bundles. So they have enterprising mindsets, but we got to work. We got to work with them. So that's what our problem is. We see ourselves, but then we separate ourselves. But remember, that go all the way back to that slave mentality. That's when Master said, listen, you's a good house Negro, and you the field ones out there, you better than the ones in the field. That's the problem we have. We still stuck in that mentality. We got to come out that mentality and help everyone. We got to help everybody. April, what are you gonna say?
I was just sitting here shaking my head, amen, in what you're saying, because it's all facts. I detect no lies in that discussion you just had, because it's all truth, it's all factual. We as a people, we got to collectively do something different. We just do, and unfortunately, it's going to take a long time to shift the mindset in order for that to happen. And we know, and it's just not going to happen for the majority. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But for us few that are willing to do it, collaborate together in order to make sure that we're putting forth the best opportunity and possibilities for children of color. There's nothing wrong with that. And for anyone that sees something wrong with that, that's a problem. Because remember, we are the minority. We represent the minority in everything. So it's okay if we want to subject our children to more, to have them exposed to more. So that's all I'll say about that.
Because if you think about it, the majority minority is Hispanic. There's more Hispanics
Yes,
than any. That's the largest quote unquote minority group. Okay, and that's why they fighting so hard to get their vote because they can swing an election, they can swing it. They got that. They got the numbers. Then there's us who make up 13% of the U.S. population, but yet the
say it
largest
again.
number of us in prison. In
How much?
prison,
13? 13.
13% of the U.S.
13.
population, but yet we make up the largest number. 75% of prisons are filled with us. Okay, we're 75% of the prison population. We have the highest numbers in terms of school to prison pipeline. Our numbers are high at every place that's negative. But when it comes to money, guess what? We are
Yes.
0.0000 of a percentage of the national gross income. We make less than a point in terms of household
What
income.
you say?
We don't have
We
no
need less
money.
than a tenth. A tenth. We're not even at a tenth.
We less than. We're not even a tenth of a point in terms of wealth in this country. And in reality, there's only like 20 people who really are the top 1%. They're the billionaires. Then they got the
And the
little
majority of those
millionaires
people are
running
not in the
underneath here,
U.S.
okay? And
The
then you
majority of
drop
those
it all
people
the
are
way
not in
down.
the U.S. They're not in the U.S. either. Let's add that.
Correct. Correct. So understand, until also we have established some kind of wealth. We just think about, we need money. That's the bottom line. And our problem is we got to shift that mindset with our money, because our money, we take our money and we don't know where to put it. We put it in cars and we put it in clothes. Do you realize the richest people dress the most brokest? Look at Bill Gates.
Yes.
I don't think Bill Gates own a piece of
Because
jewelry.
right now, with all that's going on in the city of Tampa, just in the city of Tampa, Hillsborough County, for all those that what they reference in what I used to call it back, they getting it like drag. For all of those, getting it how they get it. You gotta be smart with anything that you do in life, whether it's legal or illegal. Let me just point that out. Y'all out here buying name brand clothes, Gucci, Prada, Louis Vuitton, Brahmin, Dolce, like all this stuff that those people don't even want you in their clothes. And they're
No, they
designer
don't. Especially
wear.
Tommy Hilfiger. Tommy Hilfiger straight up said he don't make his clothes for black people.
So I hope y'all
He
also
can't
paying
stand to see
money
black
for
people wearing clothes.
retainers for the lawyers, because you're gonna need them. Me, I know you're gonna need them.
And let me help you understand something. Because this was it. You have to understand how these rich people spend their money, because I gotta give LeBron James credit, because he's building schools. He's really trying to do his best to educate his own people. However, you out there buying all this Michael Jordan. Do you know Michael Jordan invests in the prisons? So the Jordans on your feet that you might potentially get arrested for, with you going to jail and wearing the Jordans that he actually built in prisons with that money.
Or murdered for.
Yes.
You get murdered for Jordan.
So that's why he will never. I'm not going to knock his talent as a basketball player. However, you will never see me put a penny of my money towards the Jordans, no Jays, no. Because I see where he spent his money. Shaquille O'Neal is another one. Never. Shaquille O'Neal's another one. Oh, I'm building houses for this neighborhood. But Shaquille, the houses you building, nobody can afford it. Black folk can't afford the houses you building. So maybe you should have thought, okay, well, which community are you building it for? You got to understand, when people pouring out this money and they shelling this money out, who they concerned about? Are they really concerned about you? Because if you wanted to build affordable housing, you'd build affordable housing.
We can talk about affordable housing here in Hillsborough County. If anybody want to talk about it.
Let's talk about that.
There is none. There is none.
Because, thank you.
There is none.
None.
We got these various programs that are collecting dollars and putting the language on that they offer affordable housing, but affordable housing isn't home starting at $200,000. Just because it's starting at $150,000.
No,
that's a shell. And then listen at this apartment complex of these whatever they building over in Temple Terrace. Do you know there's no brick? It's all particle press, like this wood stuff. I've been watching them build it. There is not, the only brick that I saw or concrete was for the foundation. There is not one single piece of brick in any of it. I'm like, what y'all paying for?
Sad.
That's not a house. You're paying for pieces of a puzzle. It's no brick. I could go take a picture of it tomorrow. There's not one brick in that apartment, in those. I think they're going to be townhouses, or what are they called? Condos. There's not one piece of a brick nowhere. None. Nowhere. So that's interest. It was
And you can
interesting
see
to
the
see.
design. Hmm. And you can see the design now is that who are you making the city for? Who are you really building this place of? Who are you making affordable housing for? Really? Because think about it, as we draw closer and closer to election time, with all the rumblings and all the crazy things you hear out here, you know, look, I need y'all to be careful about where you choose to live too. It makes a big difference. Just be careful. But affordable house. Let's go back to that. You and I watched that house being built. It was a house on my same block from scratch. Watched it every day. Now listen. Also, look at what you're paying for. What are you getting your money's worth? Because we've seen some of these houses thrown up. These houses look lovely with a 2-car garage, but the room's like this big. So let's talk about your value for your dollar. Okay, value.
With no
Because what
yard. With
16
no
years
yard.
ago, right? 16 years ago, when my house was built, I'm talking about a house right across the street. It was what $80,000 less than the house, and it's smaller. The house is brand new, but small, and I paid $80,000 less. Come on, man. Your value for your dollar. That's y'all call that affordable housing? Y'all call that affordable housing? You need about 20 people to stay in the house to pay that mortgage down. What?
How many people?
I looked at them like I wouldn't pay that price for that, and I live across the street. So understand, who are you? Who is the affordable housing for? Who?
The question becomes at one
When
point
people
in
they
the inner
said,
at some point in the inner city, you couldn't pay specific individuals to consider living over here. Now
yeah,
I get at least about 5 calls a day talk about buying my
oh
house.
yes,
When did it
yes,
become for sale?
right. Or
I
I
didn't
get I
get the
get mail all the
memo.
time. I get the mail all the time. Are you considering selling your house? Who?
Or they call me
Sis
now. I
got
don't know how
14
my
years left
number
on the
got on the
mortgage.
list.
Right. A sis ain't. I got a short space of time left on this mortgage player. I'll be right here till that last dollar get paid off. No, I'm good. Thank you, but no.
Right.
Okay. But I mean, so, and you're absolutely right, because when I see people running down the street, jogging with their dog that don't look like me, I'm like, when you moved into the block in the neighborhood, this is East Tampa. You know where you stay, and you see people driving down the street, stopping like they're the police, right? Why they, why they on the block? You jogging with a dog, sir. You know where you live. You know where you are, and that's how you know gentrification is coming. I saw it with my other house in Ybor City. I saw it then. I was like, okay, and that was what 20. That was at least 20 years ago. When I was like, okay, you mean to tell me you know you know this is Ybor City? Do you know what street you on, sir? And now you can't find a black person on my block no more. I think there's two left. There was two left. It went and it took 18 years, and all that's left now is two black people who own houses on the same block. So again, the question is, who is this affordable housing going to be for? Let me get in this camera real quick. Okay,
It's
I'm gonna let
sad.
him
It's
sit
really
back.
sad.
It's sad. When people can't afford apartments, I think I saw somebody posted, here is a map that shows where affordable housing is in the United States, and there was no place. That's where affordable housing was in the United States, no place. And now you stress that. Oh, by the way, the amendments. I forgot to mention that. Listen, people, the amendments. One of the amendments is to raise minimum wage. Now that should be in your heart and soul and your spirit. Please raise minimum wage. People need a livable salary. People need to be able to live. People need to be able to just say, okay, my child, I can't choose between whether my child go on a field trip. Well, it's COVID, but okay, I'm using an example hypothetically. Here's a little field trip money versus, okay, I got to get the medicine for the other child over here. Okay, this child can't do this because I can't afford the medicine. I mean, help people. Help. going back to what I was saying before, which is, y'all talk like you Christians, but you sure don't act like it.
Come on.
You sure don't act like. I mean, y'all started off saying, oh yeah, like I was calling. What did I call it before? Oh, I saw a meme. I saw a meme the other day. So when people talk to me about being about Christian, is it regular Christian or is it Republican Christian? Is it Christian light? Or is it fat free Christian? Which Christian you talking about? Which type are you supposed to be? Because you sure ain't the type that I grew up with my grandmother, where she taught me about the Beatitudes, about being kind and loving and caring, and the meek shall inherit the earth. What happened there? What happened? Looking out for the poor and the homeless. The poor will always be among us, and we should
The
always care for them.
elder.
The widow, the fatherless, the orphan. What? Y'all
None of
sure
that.
ain't showing none of that. None of that. None of that. I'm gonna tell you just like how my grandmother said, some of them going to hell. That's just how she said. That's just how she just said. Somehow you're going to hell. Right. Straight there on an express bus. Because are you thinking about anybody else other than yourself? I can't. I'm sure. Before I have a heart attack, sometimes this little vein right here on this side to pop out. I'm making sure it ain't pop out real quick. Right here. But I say, oh, do we have any comments? Stuff is coming in. Wait a minute. What's going on? You got some stuff going on your side? What you got? You on mute.
Just individuals saying they agree or what have you. Not too much. Today is pretty light. But for those of you all that are on, be sure to go over and join and like the Sunshine Education Coalition, where we are illuminating the school to
Mm-hmm.
prison pipeline here in Hillsborough County. It's going to take a group effort. The children that are impacted the most are the black
Mm-hmm.
boys, the black boys. So we need your help in illuminating this and bringing voice to expectations from our district to change the narrative of us leading the school to prison pipeline for the state of Florida. We need to see something different.
Mm, right. And
You see something?
so
Go
proud
ahead.
of y'all. A lot of y'all saying that you have already voted. No, let's just saying a lot of them already
Awesome.
saying that they've already voted. Um, yes, you already voted, and that's great. Hey, I see some friends. Hey, MJ. All right, who this is here? They're more about dollars over the children. Tiffany, yes, yeah, absolutely, Tiffany, absolutely. Okay, so yeah, we do
And if
understand
we
that
haven't
aspect.
seen nothing
Okay,
else,
so now, quick one thing. What?
I said we haven't seen anything else. We clearly see that it's about dollars over children. We put
Oh yeah,
forth the
oh
conversation
yeah,
that it's about
absolutely,
what's
and
best for
especially
children. No, it's what's best for these pockets.
right. Correct. Because when we make you have to understand too, when we make decisions, we have to make decisions think about the whole child. We're not making those decisions focusing on the entire child. Like we'll look at them, especially our kids. We'll look at our kids and think that they look at them like adults, and I'm like, these are still children, and that's where that cultural relevance comes in as well. Because if you're not looking at the fact, like okay, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I was in the dollar store up here. Oh my gosh. And let me tell you, I know my people. I'm meaning that my people is people of color. So that means I know from black to Hispanic to Arabic to Ethiopian, Botswana, whatever. Okay, I know. We for some reason are people that just loud. Now to the average person walking in the store, they would swear there was a fight going on at the register. Is this loud Hispanic chick? The chick with the same dollar store we go to. This chick, she just loud. And it wasn't until you could actually stop and listen to the conversation. All they were talking about was football. That's all they were talking about, just football. But you swear a gunfight getting ready to break out. That's why. And they were like, "I'm for the Bucks. This one for the other one. The Steelers or something in Pittsburgh. I don't know what team it was." But it was like, but relax. And some people in the store were like, "Oh my God, what's happening?" And I said, if you just stop and listen, you realize they talk about football. They just happen to talk loud and fast. Okay, so that's the thing. People have to step back before you judge our children, before you judge how society see them. Just step back for a second. I've actually seen some kids have a whole argument over, and come to find out it was video games. We're talking about which one, Mortal Kombat was better than the other. I don't know what a game to fight. Well, some other fighting game they had, and I was like, they talk about some video game. It took me like 3 minutes to realize what are they talking about? Who killing who? And then that's when you realize, oh, they talk about video games. But you have to step back before you get in there and start talking to them kids like, oh, what y'all doing? Pay attention. Step back and observe. Now, speaking of which, for the kids, real quick, for the kids, we have Girls Trek also coming up on November 14th. Please, if you do some research on Girl Trek, people, it's about Black girls and Black women. I need y'all, more Black girls and more Black women, to participate in Girl Trek. We're going to post the information again down below. It's November 14th. And please bring your children out.
And hold on, let me go down this list real quick. Let's call some folks out. Let's get some commitments while they're on here, and we will feature you on the show if you don't show up. So, Carly, MJ Carly, will you be joining us at Girls Track on what day is that, Denise?
November 14th.
November 14th. We need a thumbs up if you can come join us. And who else is here? Hold on.
Gretchen is here.
Gretchen, will you be joining us on the 14th? We would love to see you there. A thumbs up if you're going to join us. Thumbs
Ashley's
up, thumbs
also
up.
On.
Gretchen,
Ashley's
you're there. On. Who else is here?
Ashley and Sybil.
Ashley and Sybil.
Sybil, you could bring some grandkids out.
Can you all commit to joining us? We need your support and commitment. When our Black and brown girls see us out taking care of ourselves, walking in health, doing health related activities, they too will acquire that natural instinct to do those types of things.
Yes.
So yes, I plan on bringing out the Blueprint for Girls, which officially hosts their first session this upcoming Saturday on the 24th. So I'm super excited about that.
Wonderful.
So yay, we're ready to get going and get moving. A special birthday wish to my goddaughter, Ari Milligan, that turned the big 1-4. She is going on way too fast. Like she just getting too big. Like I don't want her to get no bigger, no or no.
She's so pretty too.
None of that.
Oh
just stop right
her
there.
Pictures are gorgeous. Yeah.
yes. So birthday wishes to her. And yeah, we need all of you all that are on to at least commit to joining us on the 22nd for the event. And we guarantee we have some good conversations walking. We do social distance, we do masks. They provide the waters and some little fruits while you're there. So come join us. It's a good outing, especially for those of us that have been, in the house for so long, to where it's a good, refreshing, health benefited activity that you definitely would find rewarding in the end.
Yes.
So join us.
Yes. And they give you if we run had raffle prizes where we won a button. The button had a picture of an individual on it, and you have to do your research so the next time you come back, you can tell the group about the one of these outstanding and amazing women. So it's also very educational for the girls as well. So please, definitely, I mean, we want to, and if you research Girl Trek, we're going to post the information below. I also have it on Carved Out Divas. Please go. And when you look at it, it's founded by Black women. So you want this to be represented well. So please come out. Please come out and let's make it a good time
for all women.
Girls.
Let's be clear though. Join us because we would like to, enjoy conversation with all women. But again, it was the initial focus was to engage women of color in activities as such, especially when we lead heart disease. We lead all the medical conditions. It seems to be breast cancer, heart disease. There's another one too. Is it hypertension?
We have hypertension.
I can't remember right now, but I know heart disease and breast cancers are number one. And just a daily stroll, a walk, and that helps reduces those possibilities. So do your part, ladies. Do your parts. Join us. Let's collectively do something about it to change that narrative.
Right. And that's extremely important. That's all we have, and that's but just remember too, please, ladies, also go get your mammogram and go get your yearly women's wellness checkup because that's so important. Especially remember, this is the October Breast Cancer Awareness Month, as well as it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And we see just yesterday it was where you had a fatality. I think where the domestic violence incident happened, and then you also have things happening around a sports complex or something, some youth game yesterday. Violence, please, we've got to stop. Bottom line is this. Let me just tell you, as somebody who's survived through a horrible divorce, but tell you something, if you don't want to be part of it, just leave early. Leave early before stuff get worse. Okay, leave early. That's all. That's the only advice I could tell you. Before it get really bad, go. And there's so many places that you can go, especially here. I'll just give you another thing. In the spring of Tampa Bay, that's a shelter for women who are going through domestic abuse situations.
Abuse.
Okay, experiencing domestic
Mhm.
violence. Please, yes, please go. And I mean, and just find somebody that you can truly trust who can help you get out of there. And if you can, just leave. Let me tell you something. Your life is more important. You can always start over. If you got to just leave with the clothes on your back, go, because you can build again. And there are people who want to help you in these situations. There are churches that can help as well. Just do the right thing. God doesn't want us to be miserable. He wants us to live a life of happiness and joy. And you can't be happy with somebody beating on you every single day and telling you you're nothing, because mental abuse is not exactly equal to physical abuse. But let me tell you, when somebody get in your mind like that, they could
It could
destroy
be
you. They
worse. It could
can.
actually be
So
worse.
yeah,
Because the physical
yeah,
sometimes,
yeah.
and not
So
to
we just
okay
want you to
any
live
of it,
right.
it can be temporary, but that mental sits there forever. Like that's just I could not imagine. I could not
Mm-hmm.
imagine. So definitely take care of yourselves, lady, and
Right.
men too could also be victims of domestic violence. So again, I'm April Cobb with April's Beauty Bar,
I'm the Diva D from Carved Out Divas.
and we are diversity and equity and
And oh yeah, we
education.
are. Sure are. Have a wonderful evening, everyone, and God bless, and we'll talk to you later.
Have a great
Bye.
week. Bye.